Welcome back to Engineered Well Pilates, and today I'm going to do a workout for you using this. Now this has many different names. It's a Pilates circle, Pilates ring. I like to call it a magic circle or a power circle because that's what it's there for. It's to help you connect with your powerhouse, with your abs, your shoulders down, your inner thighs and that sort of bottom of the bottom. It's a really useful piece of kit. If you've done any of my other videos you now use the circle in this video, you might find that some of the exercises feel different. Maybe you can connect in a better way, in a deeper way. And that's just something to note and to take with you in your practice. So I'm going to start standing. I will go out of the shot. I do apologise for that, but just listen to my words and I should be able to guide you through it. So come and stand at the end of your mat. You've got the whole length of mat running behind you and your feet are in a Pilates stance. So that's where the heels are together and the toes are just a few fingers width apart. You're going to stand up nice and tall and you're going to take a moment here just to feel the floor beneath your feet, to zip up those inner thighs as you start to lengthen the body away from those feet and away from the floor. And you're going to hold your circle with the heel of the hand on the foam, either side of it, and the fingers reaching forward. So we've always got nice long fingers. You're going to take your arms out in front of you. Now instead of squeezing the circle like you're trying to crush it, I want you to imagine you're trying to hug your circle. So it's this gentle, just soft pressure through the hands. You're going to feel the back of the shoulders sort of glide down your body and your abdominals just gently switch on. So when you're holding the circle, your shoulders are never up around the ears, they're drawing down the back. And you're just reaching it straight forwards in front of you, those fingers reaching long. Now see if you can keep those back muscles engaged as you slowly start to lift the circle up, as if you're putting it on top of your head, just like you're wearing a crown. Your arms are sort of as straight as you can have them. There's a little, maybe a soft bend at the elbows, but it's all about those shoulders. They're pulling down the back, those abdominals are staying switched on. And then you're going to lower the hands back so that they're now reaching level with the shoulders. And you're going to bring one foot and wrap it around your other foot. So this is an optional transition. We're basically coming down to the floor. You want to get down safely. So from here, start to bend those knees, gently hugging your circle, keeping the top of your head reaching up towards the ceiling. And you're going to lower yourself down with control to your mat. Coming to lie down with the legs bent, the torso pressing down into the floor and your arms reaching up towards the ceiling, hands above those shoulders. Now if that was challenging, obviously just come down to the mat however you need to, just be safe. So from here, bring those legs together. They're bent and the inner thighs are strongly connected. You've got your hug of your circle and you're going to start to slowly take those arms behind your head. And as you do so, I want you to feel the back of your rib cage drawing down in towards the floor. And then you're going to bring the arms back up to the top. And again, you're going to take those arms backwards behind your head as you pull those ribs down towards the floor. And you're just going to keep going. Just softly moving the arms and getting heavier through the back of the rib cage. Feel it press down into your mat. And I always say, you're not aiming to get your arms to touch the floor behind you. If you've done that, you've likely lost your rib connection. So just really nice and focused, mindful movement. And bring the arms back up. We'll go for two more. Just checking in with that pelvis. It's nice and neutral. Nice and level. And those shoulders firmly down, away from those ears. Here's your last one. And coming all the way back up. Now from here, nod your chin to your chest and you're going to lift up your head and the shoulders just to the tips of the shoulder blades, looking in towards your belly button and towards those legs, and you're going to put the circle either inside the thighs, just above the knee, or you're going to put your legs through the circle and you're going to have the circle just around the outside of the thighs. Now if you do this video a couple of times, play around with the position of the circle because it does make the exercise feel different. So now our legs are in a tabletop position with the feet lifted off the floor. We've got our circle in place, either inside or outside the thighs, and our fingers are going to reach towards the end of our mat. Hands are lifted off the floor. And we're going to pump out the 100. So start pumping these arms up and down, just like you're bouncing balls, strongly underneath those hands. And you're going to breathe. You're going to breathe in for 5. And you're going to breathe out for 5. Nice strong inhales into the body. And big full exhales all the way out. If this feels comfortable for you, you can keep your pelvis neutral, lengthen out the legs. Keep hold of that circle, either inside or outside the thighs. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Reaching those fingers towards your mat. Trying to curl up as high as you can. Inhale and exhale. That must be halfway. 5 more breaths. Big full inhale. Curl up strong. Gently hugging that circle with those legs. 3 more. 2 more breaths. Just warming up the body. Last breath. And lower everything down to the mat. Take your circle between your hands. Legs are going to go long and straight. Hands reach back up towards the ceiling with the circle between those hands. We're going to roll up. So from here, nod your chin to your chest and peel your spine off that mat, one bone at a time, hugging the circle. And when you get to the top, you're going to reach forwards like you're trying to put your toes through the middle of the circle. And then you're going to roll all the way back, one bone at a time, reaching long through those fingers. Now take the circle behind the head, just to that point where you don't lose the ribs. Can you roll up and keep it there like it's a crown? Can you put your crown on and roll up without losing it? And can you stretch forwards, keeping it on top of your head, and then roll all the way back down? And again, rolling up. Bone by bone, reaching forwards and rolling back, rounding that spine, softly hugging your circle with those arms. 2 more. Round that spine, zip those legs together and roll up. And reach. Now roll all the way back down towards the floor and pause. Arms reach up towards the circle, towards the ceiling with the circle between those hands. We're going to do 1 leg circles. So bring your right leg and lift it straight to the ceiling. Now I say straight, you want your hips to stay level and you don't want to feel any sort of tension through that leg. So you might need to lower the leg a bit or have a soft bend at the knee if you're tight. You're going to reset those ribs in towards the floor and use them as a nice anchor point. So we're now going to move this right leg. So it's going to make circles, as if you're kind of drawing a circle on the ceiling with the toes. And as you do this, you're trying to keep the whole body still. The hips are level, the ribs aren't moving, everything is just strong and stable. Reverse your circles. Little circles to keep everything stabilized. We'll do 2 more and then lower that leg all the way down. I'm going to change sides. Left leg lifts as straight as you can, as up to the ceiling as you can. Hips are level and we're going to circle this leg without moving anything else. Hips, pelvis, ribs evenly weighted into your mat. And then circle the other way. You might find like one side is easier or more difficult than the other. 2 more. And then lower that leg down. We're going to roll back up to a seated position. Nod that chin to your chest and roll up 1 bone at a time. Peel off that mat. And now bend your knees in towards your chest And we're going to go into rolling like a ball. Now, if you have any eye or blood pressure issues, you're not going to roll, you're just going to hold the position. So you're going to balance your feet off the floor. The circle is still in your hands reaching forwards, and if you can, you're trying to find a connection between the outside of your knees and your elbow crease. So you've got this sort of nice strong hold. The heels are together. Now if you're rolling, you're going to nod your chin to your chest and you're just going to roll back to the tips of the shoulder blades and come straight back up without losing any of those connections of the knees to the elbows, those shoulders down the back and up. We'll go for 3 more rolls, just rounding that spine back and rounding it more to come up. Eyes on the belly. And last one. And balance. Now lengthen those legs out long and we're going to go into spine stretch forwards. So another nice grounding exercise. The circle is going to rest on the mat just in front of you. So actually let's lie the circle down. So you're going to lie it completely flat. Those feet, those legs are a mat width apart, so the circle should fit in between kind of your feet, your calves. And you're going to softly press it with the legs. So this is going to keep those inner thighs active as we stretch. I'm now going to bring my arms up so they're level with my shoulders. And I'm going to find that connection that I've had with the circle in my hand by just softly drawing those shoulders down the back. Now nod your chin to your chest and start to reach forward with the fingers as you pull backwards with the ribs and the abdominals. You're going to reach as far forward as you can, but as far backwards through the belly and the ribs as you can. Now inhale and grow tall. Are you still squeezing your circle? Nod the chin to the chest and round forward. Reach, reach. Exhale all of your air as you stretch. And inhale, come tall to the top. 3 more. Trying to reach further. Trying to pull back those ribs deeper. And come all the way up to the top. 2 more. Nice big stretch. Shoulders still down the back. And come up. And here's your last one. Lifting that spine up and out of the hips as you round it forwards. And come all the way up and pause. Now keep your legs where they are, just take the circle back into the hands. Can you still find the inner thigh connection even though the circle is now taken away? You're going to reach your hands forward again, heel of the hand right on the squidgy bit of those circles. And you're going to sit up as tall as you can and we're going to twist. So we're just going to rotate through the upper body just as far as we can without moving the legs. Trying to feel the chest move around inside the body. And we're going to go over to the left, growing taller as we twist, coming back to centre and going over to the right. Rotate, move those ribs and come back. Lift that chest proud as you twist round and come back, legs completely still by those nice anchoring inner thighs. Let's just do 1 more. And come back to the centre. Bring your legs together and roll all the way down to the floor, 1 bone at a time. Arms can come behind the head and you're going to roll over onto your stomach, bringing the circle with you for swan. So now your circle is going to rest on the floor, probably in front of your mat. And your hands are going to be, again, holding the foamy bit either side. And those arms are reaching out in front of you. You're going to rest your forehead on the floor. Softly squeeze the circle with those hands. Again, it's that hug of the circle as opposed to a direct press. This is just to anchor those shoulders again. Your legs are together and the toes are soft. We're going to lift the upper chest, the forehead and the upper chest off the mat. Feel like you're pulling your chest towards the circle. And then lower back down. And again, lift, try and slide that chest forwards and lift the belly and lower back down. Forehead and chest lifting off the floor. Just watch you've not got any wrinkles in the back of your neck. And last one, Gently press that circle and lift that chest forwards even more, and lower all the way back down. Release the circle, push up onto all fours, and then sit back on your heels with those arms reaching out in front of you for a little stretch. Just rounding your chest over the thighs, or rounding your back, I should say, lifting the chest off those thighs. And then walk all the way forwards. We're going to turn back over onto our bum, picking up the circle as we go for bridge. So lie all the way back down with those legs bent. So again, here you can either put the circle between the legs or outside. I'm putting mine outside the legs because I've got a really big circle, and if I put it in between my legs, I'd be like a cowboy. So now my feet are naturally a hip width apart. My arms are by my side, fingers reaching for the heels, and my pelvis is nice and strong and neutral. I'm going to lift my hips up into the air without pressing or opening the circle, and then lowering all the way back down. And equally, if the circle is between your knees, you're not squeezing it, it's always that sort of gentle caress of the circle with your body. We're going to stay here for a few, just lifting those hips and rolling the spine down one at a time, nice and centered. The circle is a really great way of, sort of tells you if you've got any imbalances. It helps to just even things out and get the body working as one. Let's just do two more. And last one. And pause. So now keep the circle where it is. We're going to go straight into teaser. So I'm going to nod my chin to my chest, and as I roll up, I'm going to lift my feet and lengthen them to a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to nod my chin to my chest, start to roll up, lengthen my legs, and I'll end up with my feet diagonal, and I'm balanced right on my buttock, on my sort of bum kind of crack. I'm reaching for my toes with my hands. I'm going to keep my legs still and start to round my spine back towards the mat without moving those legs. Arms come behind the head when the head touches, and then roll all the way back up. And again, roll it down. Gently hugging your circle and come all the way back up. And here's your last one. Rolling it down. Where are your shoulders? Are they reaching down towards your hips? Come all the way up. And now bend those knees, take the circle off your legs and roll over for swimming. So just like before when we were on our bellies, on our fronts, the circle's going to be in front of us off the mat. Our hands are going to gently hug it either side, and our forehead can just stay down. We're going to float the legs off the floor, just a little bit. We're not reaching them too high. And from here, we're just going to start to swim the legs up and down, just as if you're moving through water. Little flutter kicks with those legs, lifting the belly and just taking a moment to breathe. Keep hugging that circle with the hands. And then lower those legs down, bring your hands by your chest so you're releasing the circle, tuck your toes under, the legs are zipped together, and we're going to push up into a plank in one strong movement. And we're going to hold this position for a second. Nice and zipped up through those legs, anchored with the shoulders down the back of the body. You can almost feel the circle between those hands. Hug those shoulders down your back and lift the belly in nice and deep. Now from here, come down onto your knees. You're going to roll over onto your back, and you're going to lie all the way flat and reach back and try and find your circle with your hands. So hopefully your hands will just find those nice fleshy bits, squidgy bits, so that you can pick up your circle and reach it behind you. You're going to pull those ribs in strong, and now we're going to transition up to the top, to standing, ideally in one strong movement. But remember, transitions are always optional, so just do what's safe for you to come to stand. If you're with me, which I hope you are, you're holding your circle in your hand. You're going to nod your chin to your chest and start to roll up to that seated position. As you roll up, you're going to cross your legs and you're going to hug your circle and see if you can come up to stand. I did that too slowly. See if you can come up to stand in one strong movement. So don't overthink it like I did, and just come all the way up to stand. And then you're at the top of your mat, arms are reaching forwards, hugging your circle, and you're going to lift up onto those tiptoes as you inhale, and lower back down as you exhale. And you're going to lift up, and lower it down, and do one more, and lower. And that's you all done. A nice little introduction to the magic circle, the power circle. Give it a go, see how it feels, and try playing around with the position of the circle with the legs, and does it help make your Pilates sessions stronger? Let me know in the comments below, and please do subscribe, follow this channel for more videos for your body. Bye.